Here's an early prediction based on what Jin-Woo's daddy had to say. We'll call him Papa Boo because I call him Jin-Woo's daddy just seems a little too thirsty, and it ain't even like that.
Papa Boo.
So the dad says that there's something that's been unleashed that no one's prepared for, and no amount of troops can stand against it. In fact, I want to put a ticker up real quick just in case, an early prediction, and it turns out to be right.
We get to come back and be like, remember when you thought it was?
Jin-Woo is the threat that's been unlocked. The dad has been stuck on this island for 10 years, and something suddenly requires him to get off this island. I don't know if he could detect that it was his son that unlocked this power, but he's aware that the player character has been unlocked. Maybe because he himself was a player at some point. We don't know, but he's obviously so far outclassing another S class that maybe he's one of those people. He's a level 50 S class, whereas my boy was a level 1 S class. But because it was S class, it was so far against everybody else that nobody would have thought anything of it until you run up against somebody who's a higher level S class than you. And you can see that there's still a difference in power. Another player has been unlocked. And maybe the fact that a player was finally unlocked is what allowed him to get out of wherever it was he's been trapped for 10 years. All of this is connected because why else would Daddy suddenly show up? Now, if Jin-Woo turns out to be the threat to humanity, we see that he is becoming less and less emotionally attached to fighting. He is having less and less concern as we get to some of the later episodes. When we get to I Need to Stop Faking. I thought, like at that point, he's talking to the head of the association, like, yeah, I'm a pass. I'm good. I appreciate it. How much, bro, if you're trying to get these certain things, you could get this elixir of life. You could say, it's not about saving mom anymore. That is still something he's going to do because he can, but it's not about saving mom. He could have been joined up with one of these high ranking, did what he needed to do, go in and take everything out. It ain't about that. He wants to keep getting strong.
Yes. He says he wants to fight.
Whenever you have somebody that only wants to get stronger, eventually the corruption takes over. Last season, we had some intro videos and outro videos from the anime where you can see that there's the scared little kid Jin-Woo, the rank E looking long-haired Jin-Woo is trapped inside a psych ward, maybe somewhere in his head. We see that again in this season, that maybe this player persona is causing him to act a little out of character. It's causing him to do things he normally wouldn't do. Eventually, he's just going to go on a rampage, killing people just to get the experience, just to be able to level up. He might get to the point where he's leveling whole cities, and no one's going to be able to stop him at some point. The stronger he gets, the stronger he'll be. And everybody else is stuck wherever they are. So you take these S ranks who went to the island and couldn't stop whatever they needed to stop. Maybe they trapped it. Maybe it was Jin-Woo's daddy that got trapped over there. It's been 10 years. A new player has emerged. Now suddenly daddy's free because he's no longer the player and he can get out of it. He comes back. He knows the downside of this. He's going to have to fight his son.
He's coming back to contain his son. That's a good hypothesis, man. That's a damn good hypothesis. That is a damn good hypothesis.
And it's only like circumstantial evidence to support it. Because it's a super early theory. Super early
theory. I understand.
But I've watched some anime. I've read some books. I've watched some TV. That's where it looks like it's going. Because the head of the Hunters Guild, the vice chairman, the chairman of the association, because remember, there's only been 10 S ranks.
Correct.
I don't even think they're counting Jin-Woo's daddy as one of the 10.
Correct.
So if they're not counting his daddy as one of the 10, that makes his daddy something special. How would they not know of another S rank? Maybe because he didn't start off as an S rank. Maybe because he started off as a lower rank and ranked up the same way Jin-Woo, who is clearly an S rank by episode 5. But as we talk now, when we get to I Need to Stop Faking, in that episode, that's where he has a conversation with the chairman, And it's like, it's not about money. I want to fight. I want to get stronger. And we see that the deputy chief comes to talk to old boy, and he's like, hey, I just need to find out from you in person. Is Ilhan Sung really a magic beast? And he's like, well, the way he beat my ass, he would have to be.
I know he just couldn't deal with the fact that you got your ass beat by another dude, another hunter.
It was like he has to be a beast the way he beat me up. Like, do you see me right now? And he's like, well, I tell you what, you go ahead and focus on healing and come by the command center when you're done. And they're like, we're trying to track him down now, but how we gonna bring somebody in if they could beat you?
There you go. There you go.
You get better. That's what I want you to focus on. And of course, he's feeling like he's lost. And my man told him again, like, stay away from my family for your own sake. Because if you do, even if you die, you won't be safe from me.
Yeah, Jin-Woo's daddy kind of already understood what his level was. He already, right, when he came on the game, there was already a bunch of heroes around him who already knocked the fuck out, right? He had already knocked plenty of them out. Said it all, they're not dead. They're just unconscious. I didn't kill them, right? He said, and we probably had some A ranks in there, right? There were probably some A ranks in that group who Jin-Woo's daddy just beat crap out of him real quick.
Smacked him up real good.
He knows he's the man. Like this is a person who knows he's the man, knows he can handle these situations. Right.
This is somebody who's had his power for the last 10 years and has truly learned to understand what he's capable of.
Oh yeah. So where it goes with him, obviously I'm not. The one thing that I like that you brought up, and I kind of feel is a very central theme to this show, is about power corruption. And they use a lot of opportunities to show heroes or hunters who assume that they are powerful. And whenever they're surrounded by less powerful people, they tend to bully them.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the A rank who, during the Redgate incident, flips out, right? You lose your team, you get your ass handed to you, by some bears and some elves, and then
you want to take it out on the other survivors,
right? Exactly. Like,
rather than immediately teaming up and being like, "Hey, let's regroup and work together."
Right. You're not trying to save anybody. You're not trying to help anybody. This is your first mission. This is the first thing that you've led, and this is how you react to it. So, and we're consistently seeing this, right? We've seen it last season with the agent, with the agent hunter who brought the prisoners along, and all of a sudden decides he wants to kill. We see this with
we see that with
Wang Dong-suk. We've seen this with the little brother, right? Wang Dong-suk, who he got a squad of killers that just do this. You know what I'm saying?
Lower rank people in to meet the number of team members required.
Yeah.
Kill them so that they spread the loot 4 ways instead of 6.
Right.
And no telling how many hunters they've killed, because what happens in a dungeon stays in a dungeon.
And his brother is just as bad. And that now they don't talk about this too much in the anime. They do talk about it in the manhwa and the light novel. They talk about it, how that dude is bad, like his brother, how their family tree is screwed up. So that's a big theme about power corruption in the written, in the written medium.
Yeah, I can, and you can tell because they still highlight. They want to make it a point to show you that some characters go out of their way to be good, and it seems like right now Jin-Woo still has the mindset to be good, but I can eventually see Jin-Woo being, if they're not strong enough, they deserve to die.
I mean, you sense it in him, right? That power is getting to him. I think that's where Jin-Ho comes in, where Jin-Ho is kind of his moral center, right?
That was his little Jiminy Cricket.
There you go. Keeps him grounded, right? Like, okay, I'm going to be big brother. I'm going to be your big brother. I got you, So it's nice to know that even though it started off with, okay, I'm using you because you could get me in these dungeons and I can level up. But you're a good dude and you really got a good heart. And I'm kind of feeling where you want to go with this. So I'm here for you.
How many people could have been players?
Mm-hmm.
And if there could have been multiple people who had been players, That may have changed the dynamic of the game. Imagine Ryan Reynolds, free guy. All your S rank people, all of your enemies, all of everybody here is an NPC.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day, somebody wakes up and they become a player. They become free guy. They are no longer bound to the script.
Right.
That is the concept of the Matrix. That's Neo. He's the one.
The rules of the system.
They no longer apply to him. When you get a person like that, and that's why I think, honestly, that's who I think they were fighting on the island was another player. That's why I think it's Jin-Woo's daddy. That's why I think a player would recognize the potential corruption of another player. Or what if there can only be one player? Now that Jin-Woo's the player, that's why, because it's like when you play children's games, red light, green light, hide and go seek, somebody is it. Everybody else gets to hide. Somebody is it. Hold on, let me put that back up there. If you have somebody that is it, and being it is the player, and the player gets the necessary advantages in order to be it, they get the opportunity to level and scale beyond. Because you know what? Let's see if one player can take out the S rank. And maybe that's why there's a certain number of S rank at any given time, or there can only be a certain number of S rank. Because if you got millions and millions and millions of people awakening, the odds have to be better than that. Come on.
Correct.
Come on. Everybody. Because honestly, it legitimately feels like at any point, anybody could go and be awakened. At least half the population has to be awakened. And then of that half, some people are going to be ranked higher and lower and things like that. And then once you're in that rank, you stay that rank forever. So there's no real purpose or advantage to doing any of the fighting because you can't level up. There is no such thing as grinding if you can't level.
Correct.
But if you're a player, you can grind.
Correct.
So you need this many to get to this level. And then this many to get to that level. And then that many to get to that level. And then when you get to the S rank, you only need 10 to reach a double S. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of GAG Anime. Be sure to like, subscribe, click the QR code there so you can find everywhere you can find Grown A Geeks. I am S Rank Anime Fam. I'm Elder Geek Sam. That's been RG Cashmere. We hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. We are out of here. Peace.